fight feeling emanating from the Viper's pit, Jeff. Here's a guy you're very familiar with. He will be challenging for the 170-pound PFL Championship. Of course, I'm talking about Dexter Brothers.
Yeah, Dexter Brothers, as you may know, he actually tried to start out a pro wrestling career here in OVW and transitioned to a reality show called Fight School, which gave everyday normal people an opportunity to train as a fighter. And Dexter is one of the few people who made it to that season finale and actually won his fight.
Dexter is just a guy, he's in phenomenal shape. Always makes weight, almost to the the exact pound. And he has extreme dedication to his craft. But this guy scares me a little bit. Brian Bruce Lee Brooks, who can proudly call himself the first ever PFL 170-pound champion. It was last time he was in the Viper's pit. He defeated Thomas Brownfield. Pardon me. He's the second 170-pound PFL champion. Brownfield was the first after winning that tournament in a very impressive fashion. But it was only during his first defense that he lost it to Brian Bruce Lee Brooks, who is one tough, one mean, and one experienced customer. Dexter Brothers, Brian Brooks. I am looking forward to a very, very intense fight.
Your next event is a 170-pound VFL Championship match. Introducing first, the challenger fighting out of the red corner. 5'10", 170 pounds, out of Petersburg, Indiana. He represents Big Bully Martial Arts, Dexter Brothers. And his opponent, 6 foot tall, 170 pounds, out of Mayfield, Kentucky, representing Bushido Fight Club. He is the 170-pound VFL champion, Brian Bruce Lee Brooks.
It's our tail of the tape for the 170-pound VFL championship fight. Both men fairly evenly hyped, same weight. The experience goes to Brian Brooks with an 11-4 record as opposed to the 6-2 out of Dexter Brothers. And Brian Brooks is 29, 7 years the senior of Dexter Brothers. Let's see if the experience and the wisdom comes into play as the champion staring down the challenger, Dexter Brothers.
Yeah, it actually looks like that they're pretty even in height.
Yeah.
Brooks gives the illusion because of his, he's kind of a lanky guy that he's actually taller than most of his opponents. But these are about as in shape as two fighters can be. Brian Brooks and Dexter Brothers.
It's a big fight feel going on as Dexter trying to land those knees.
One thing you don't want to do with Dexter is clinch, because this kid was an outstanding high school wrestler, and we saw last time here in the Viper's Pit, he will knee you in the face and take you out. But Brooks, no slouch at all.
Well, taking it to the ground. I don't know if that's smart. Dexter Brothers is, as you said, a phenomenal wrestler.
It looked like Brooks was going to get a takedown, but in mid-air, Dexter Brothers reverses it. But here's a case where Brooks is very, very skilled from his back. He has defeated many people by armbar and triangle. But it's Dexter Brothers. Oh, Dexter's probably going to try to stand it back up.
Stand it back up. The high school wrestling coach, Dexter Brothers, challenging Bruce Lee. Brian Brooks calls himself a 3-round fighter. We have yet to see. Oh man, look at those vicious uppercuts to the midsection.
That just took all the wind out of the sails of Brooks. Those body shots hurt, Brent.
And that was rapid fire there, Jeff. I mean, all of that weight, all of that power, 4 or 5 times into the chest of Brian Bruce Lee Brooks.
Brooks may be cut right on the forehead. I mean, Brothers, I would rather be hit in the head and hit in the face 10 times before you hit me in the gut 1 time.
Dexter's got his back. But he fights out of the rear naked. Brooks trying to cover up, trying to successfully defend that 170-pound championship. But Dexter Brothers is an athlete's athlete.
The funny thing right now is Dexter Brothers is trying so hard not to break the rules by throwing punches to the side versus the back of the head. That's pretty considerate, I guess, but...
Well, he's a classy guy, too.
Oh, look at this. Brooks now on top. He's almost got mount position.
That could be bad news. Brooks a bricklayer by day, by trade, and he's going to try to land some of those brick-like fists on Dexter Brothers.
Yeah, small cut right in the center of the head of Brian Brooks.
I think a real turning spot, a real time where we took a turn in the fork in the road was after those body shots. It just seems like Brooks doesn't have the steam behind his punches or his ground game that he did before.
You know, I compare it to like the status bar on a video game. Uh-oh, look at this, look at this. He's got an arm triangle on Dexter. Dexter better turn it. Oh, he got out. That was so close. And since the beginning, that has been one of Dexter Brothers' weaknesses. It's leaving his arm out there against a good submission guy, and he did it for a moment and got in trouble.
And the perseverance that's in that. Whoa! That's the end of round one in this championship fight. And Brothers caught a couple of shots there, hard shots on the way up.
You know, like you said, Brent, I think the most pertinent shots that took place in that round were the ones to the body. And I was about to say, the status bar on your energy level on a video game goes from green to red, and it's very hard to get that back after body shots, especially I think he landed 3 or 4 of them right into the diaphragm, knocking the air completely out of Brian Brooks. But to his credit, he finished that round very solidly, and I'm going to have to give that a 10-9 for that man on your screen, Dexter Brothers.
I mean, these guys are really, really leaving everything they have inside that cage, and that is what this sport is all about. That is what the Viper Fight League is all about, especially as if honor, pride, respect, things you can't buy weren't enough to be on the line. The 170-pound VFL championship is up for grabs. That man is your champion, Brian Bruce Lee Brooks. And that man is your challenger on the right, out of the red corner, Dexter Brothers. Round 2 in this title fight.
Oh, it's now Brooks trying to utilize history, swinging very wildly, catches Dexter. It's Brothers with the clinch.
Oh, uppercut to the jawline. Again, Brooks wants to bring it to the ground. That forehead, that gash on that forehead beginning to flow, Jeff.
Yeah, he's opening up. The most dangerous thing is he is bleeding into the eyes of Dexter Brothers. And this has been caused quite, oh, look at that. Dexter Brothers is closing his eyes. Now that is something that I think to a point needs to be stood up and checked by a doctor, not for the safety of Brian Brooks, but to get someone else's blood out of your eyes.
Yes.
Dexter is in trouble now.
He's popping those hips. He's trying to bridge out of this with the full mount. Dexter doing what he can to cover up. As Brooks trying to find an opening to land some of those shots.
Yeah, the damage that Dexter Brothers has done to the forehead of Brooks.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Left that arm out there!
Look at that escape.
How impressive! How impressive! How tenacious is Dexter Brothers, but he finds himself in the triangle. Title on the line. Can Bruce Lee put the exclamation point? He does! A successful title defense for Brian Bruce Lee Brooks. He is still your 170-pound VFL champion.
He looks like he's been in one of the most violent car wrecks you could possibly have. There's a pool of blood inside of the ring, but nonetheless, an incredible victory and one of the best fights I've ever seen here in the Viper's Pit, Brent.
Dexter Brothers is a game day player. He came with his game face, knew it was on the line.
Your winner, 1 minute 23 seconds into the second round, with a triangle choke submission, and still your 170-pound VFL champion, Brian Bruce Lee Brooks.
The hype was lived up to. This fight was highly anticipated. And Dexter Brothers came with his game face, made the small mistake of succumbing to the ground game and the submission skills of Brian Bruce Lee Brooks, and he paid for it by not taking home the 170-pound championship. Dexter Brothers, though, phenomenal.
All right,
phenomenal
Dexter
competitor.
Brothers, that was, I know you're disappointed right now, but that's probably one of the best fights we've seen here in the VFL, and we got to give you some credit for that. But what do you have to say about Brian?
You know, he's obviously a very good fighter. That's why he's the champ. But I mean, I got this guy bleeding like a water faucet in my eyes. I can't see when I'm doing things. I'm not seeing what's coming down. But hey, my hat's still off to him. He's a hell of a fighter, but I think the ref should have stopped that. I mean, bleed the blood in the ring.
So you're saying you'd potentially like a rematch against Brian down the road?
Absolutely. I mean, great person, but hey, everybody enjoyed it. Everybody at CFL wants to see a fight. We'll come give you a fight. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I love all of you.
All right, Dexter Brothers, everyone, we hope to see you back in here. All right, you're still the champion, even though it looks like you're going to need about 10 or 12 stitches there. That's a heavy gash. But saying it was worth it?
It's worth it. It's worth it. I like the blood. You might not, but I do.
All right, what do you have to say about Dexter? He stepped in here, he had a great, impressive showing last time here in the VFL, and a very formidable opponent.
Yeah, I should have got my thumb out of my ass a lot quicker, but it worked out.
All right, what about his request for a rematch and the blood issue of falling into his eyes? What do you say about that?
I say, part of fighting, you might lose, you know what I mean? You can find anything to cry about, you know what I mean? Hey, I wasn't crying when he called me out the day I got my fight. So yeah, I just take it like you got it.
So are we gonna see a rematch eventually?
Maybe eventually. I think he needs to work his way back up to me, though.
All right, that's your comments from your VFL champion. Give it up for him one more time. Brian Brooks.
Thanks for being with us here in the Viper Pit for another exciting night of mixed martial arts action. Don't forget, Vicious Aggression on Saturday night, August the 22nd. Go online and get your tickets early. General admission only $10 if you go online, and $10 off your VIP tickets. Again, that is Saturday night, August the 22nd. We appreciate each and every one of you being with us here in the Viper Pit. For Jeff Osborne and Brent Terry, I'm Dean Hill. Drive safely on your way home.